The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rates as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call the police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle, the ASIS strike.
You have done your work, you have put us to the wall. We are not the slaves.
I'm not a small boy. You should have given me the report.
I have not seen the report.
Welcome to Global Morning.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
the legislature.
Good morning and welcome to the program Global Morning on Global Television. I hope your weekend was exciting and nice to have you join us on Africa's Finest Breakfast Show. I'm not alone as usual. I've got my partner here.
Good morning. How is everyone this beautiful Monday morning? I like to call it the Money Making Monday for everyone out there, for all businessmen, entrepreneurs, to make that money this beautiful Monday morning. Good morning. How are you doing, Tony? Why the smile? What's up?
Because I'm as bad as wear my glasses. That's how bad weekend was.
No, it's too early.
I actually crashed on them. It was just 4 a.m. this morning. I got a call that started with the rest is history. The rest is in front of us right now.
But you look great, really. You don't look like someone
I feel very unusual. Like I can't see.
Are you kidding me?
Like I can only see big objects.
Okay.
Probably the money side, but anything else.
But for me, the weekend was great. I was here the weekend anyway. I had to be here.
Pay the bills.
Yeah. It's very important, but that's how we roll. In the broadcasting.
Whereas as special as those in the healthcare industry, no breaks. Those in the security industry also no breaks. We're as good as making sure the world goes around and everything is in place. So we get you well informed. That's the reason they have to come. Probably, let me do some marketing this morning. Okay. Come sponsor as many programs as possible so that we can keep doing this every day.
Of course, most people in these various sectors actually make the world go around, because you need the media, you need the health sector, you need the marketers, insecurity. You need all of these agencies to make the world a better place and to make the world go round.
All right, a lot of news has hit us, some very hard, some not so interesting as regards looking at what's playing out. We've got some big stories as regards Betta Edu. We thought she was going to be better than the former ministers we had, but apparently she's not better anyway, because I've got the president of Nigeria asking the anti-graft agencies, the security agencies to look into the books and probe how well she's doing. I think this is very interesting. Yes. It means what he said during the broadcast 2024.
He means every word.
He means every. Unlike the previous government, where it's after they've left office,
or talk and no show.
We get to hear the crime committed afterwards. So I think this is very interesting. I would like to see how this pans out. Will they come out with a report at the end of the day? Should we find guilty or not guilty? It depends. But it's very interesting. I think this is going to make other ministers also sit up.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that this is a step in the right direction, as we've heard from the New Year Day speech by our president, who spoke. He spoke so well on talking about this monitoring committee.
Was that what's supposed to be extensively?
Are you kidding me right now?
I just asked you a question.
Did you just put me on the spot?
No, I just asked you a question. Because I didn't think there was a word about to come out and just disappeared.
Okay, well played.
Like magic.
Well played. No problem.
All right, that's why we say Nigeria, right? Play. All right, but you didn't answer the question.
No. But still looking at it, that's for me, before I was rudely interrupted by Anthony Momodou today. Of course, it's a step in the right direction, I would say, by our president, because of the monitoring committee that has been set up. I'm happy about this probe. So it's not just one of those things that you just put a side eye and you just forget about it, or it's just one of those rumors. For every rumor, there's an atom of truth in it. But, for PDP members who are coming out to say that Betta Edu is actually taking individuals for a ride, making it look as if it's one of those things. She's sitting down, still on the seat. She should be investigated thoroughly, arrested.
So suspended probably.
Suspended completely until it's concluded.
Okay.
But unfortunately, she's still there, and we feel
she's going to compromise the investigation, obviously.
Of course, of course. What are you saying? There's an allegation against you. Are you just going to leave every
traces
if there
is a trace?
If there, of course, the monies that was laundered into her own private account, it was traced to her private account.
Oh boy.
So definitely, this is a step in the right direction for me. It shows that this administration is not just going to take a back. It's actually going to go forward and do the needful. Exactly the word that the president has stated will be followed.
True.
Excessively.
So, okay. All right, so
You're kidding me.
I think we have to call him the probing president. First of all, he probed the CBN. We saw the fallout.
Yes, he did.
We're still not done with all the fallout from the CBN, Jim Obazi's report. And now another one. I think I like this president. He's beginning to put his hands in many nice things. But I think this is another good way of building the confidence of Nigerians.
Yes.
That the APC is here for good and they mean business. And so let's see if this probe will unearth more things.
Well, you know, unfortunately so, PDP, they're not in support. They, in their own words, APC is full of corruption, all of these things combined due because of this case and all the cases that we have seen so far. But we pray, we just hope and pray, fingers crossed, that, like you've said, this is a step in the right direction. I mean, this is the probing president. Let's see how far this goes, and let's just see everything fall into place when it comes to investigation, the committees that are monitoring, that are being set up, and all hands being on deck. And like he said, no excuses. So, Betta Edu, you have no excuse whatsoever. And you know, it's so sad to see that these particular money that was laundered is monies for the poor masses, is unfortunately to make a better living for the downgraded when it comes to individuals who are the vulnerable in the society. And this sort of money being laundered is such a sad event, like really.
I think it's more interesting if you look at the gender that is doing all this. I think the women are becoming better than the men when it comes to pulling the strings and getting our monies in the wrong place, putting it in the wrong purse.
No, not all. Don't generalize.
We saw Sadia Omar Farouk, you know, escape using the health excuse, and I think the EFCC gave her that leeway, saying she didn't come out with any communication to give an excuse, so she quickly used the health excuse.
But you know how it is in Nigeria. They always use the health as part of elements to actually stop an investigation.
They should be proved.
Prolong one.
They should be approved to show us the health status in the last 6 months. Are you truly going through this illness? So that we're sure you're not playing us a fast one like those in the NDDC board who usually would faint once they begin to ask them the right questions. So I think but it's very sad but I think I'm not completely surprised that Betta Edu is being put on the spot. There was this commission she did some weeks back, IDP camp. It was supposed to be buildings, and you just see only one structure, and it's already commissioned. I'm asking myself, how can you commission just one flat and just a room?
There are room for suspicions, right? Yeah, truly there are rooms for. When I see this side, I looked at. Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? Just one flat. We didn't even, and it was just on a. We didn't
on a hilly place.
On a hilly place, no movement whatsoever, and even just it's outside. We didn't even see inside the facility. You know, when you're building a particular place for IDPs, there should be equipment to show like the beds and all of that. But we didn't see any of those things. It's just sad to see the corruption level in which we witness. Individuals are not the voices. They actually go contrary to what they promised to do. So it's really, really sad to say.
All right. Those in the entertainment industry says Betta Edu is really better at making up, and so your guess is as good as where I'm driving to. But
she is pretty though.
Yeah, really lots of. All right, let's look at some other trending stories making the rounds. We've got breaking news, many feared dead in a boat capsized in Anambra. Very sad story. I know you've got details of that.
Yeah, really, really sad. Individuals that the boat capsized. Well, unfortunately, both women and children. Well, by survivors. Survivors have actually gone to help them out, but not still unaccounted for. To see how that played out. Really, really sad incident that happened in Anambra. Really sad.
All right, very sad story. That and other stories have been trending. I think I will go for a very quick break. I will return from the break. The program continues. Stay with us.
Don't go anywhere. Okay, you're welcome back. It's Global Morning on Global Television, bringing you very interesting stories when it comes to headlines making rounds. Still talking about the Anambra boat capsize. You know, Anthony, you know, the boat was coming all the way from Kogi State, bringing in goods and individuals. And of course, the DSP, Tochukwu Ikenga, who is the spokesperson for Anambra State Police Command, actually mentioned that 30 people have been rescued and about 5 lifeless bodies. It's so shocking and such a very bad incident that actually took place. But you know, still investigations are still ongoing. Women and children are being rescued. And well, meanwhile, we're yet to ascertain. Like you said, investigations are still ongoing concerning that incident that happened in Anambra State. All right,
we expect that in such cases there should be life jackets in the boats, or at least some recently with the investment and the blue economy and the marine, NIMASA and all that.
True.
Those are the things we would have expected them. Inland, Nigerian Inland Commission and all that, because they had told us they had all this, the waterways police who ensure safety.
Like you said, all the agencies, they're supposed, all hands are supposed to be on there when it comes to the blue economy. But unfortunately so, in Nigeria, where we find ourselves due to the economy, and people will tell you, no, I'm sure the authorities must have said, there's not enough room, and they'll say, I'll manage. You see, putting their life at jeopardy. Now see what has happened. The capside, I'm sure, overload. I'm just saying from my own point of view, that's my own opinion. I am sure due to overloading of the goods and of course the passengers, just to get from Kogi State to, of course, Anambra State. Really sad incident there.
All right, we just hope the concerned agencies will do the needful to ensure that this doesn't. The concerned agencies will do the needful to ensure that this doesn't reoccur again, and I expect that those who are charged with responsibility of making sure that our waterways and waterways transportation get the job done. But very, very sad commentary there.
Very sad.
But I think this also means Kogi and Anambra states, knowing fully well that these two states have one thing in common: they use their waterways to transfer their goods and services, it's obviously the volume of trade between those two states is quite heavy. So we expect that the states should be a little bit concerned as regards how this will play out. The traders ferry their goods.
It's very important, and actually they should make room or other alternative routes when it comes to just to reduce boat capsizing and of course loss of lives and loss of goods and property. Very important.
All right, very important. Now we've got some other interesting stories making the rounds, and Chimamansi has got one big story she shared in terms of the sporting industry. I'll let her be the queen of sports this morning and give us the big story. Barely some few hours, days, not hours.
Okay.
I was almost jumping the gun now.
So our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has actually cleared 12 billion naira outstanding debt. Okay, that has to do with the Super Eagles and others. Of course, the 12 billion naira of course outstanding payments that were supposed to be made to players of Super Eagles and other national teams, which is a good step in the right direction. I'm sure sounds of joy. And then when I read further, I wondered why is the backlog of so much monies that was not paid to these players who deserve it, it's their right. I think they had to use the monies to prepare for other important aspect when it comes to sports, so they had to wait pending when these monies will actually come to them. So it's a step in the right directions just to honor our players and give them their right and what is due to them.
I think good news for Nigerian players, like you said, but it also calls to mind the Nigerian Football Federation. So what have they been doing and why have they been owing this money? Is because every time Nigeria goes for an international tournament or competition, which is FIFA involved, FIFA usually would give countries some grant for preparations. And we know that the federal government also backs the national teams with some funds from the Ministry of Sport. So the question is, what does the NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, do with these monies? There are always, most times what we hear is they go to these tournaments with their family members, their girlfriends, and instead of using the money for the team. There are other sad commentaries that we also have companies who support the national team.
Of course.
And they pay certain money just to say, okay, for instance, you say XY company in support of the Super Eagles. So what it means, they use the Super Eagles brand to put in their company logo and all that as a way of because they paid certain money to the Nigerian football. So what happens? What do they do with these monies? I think the last time President Muhammadu Buhari, he set up a committee, Oblak committee, to investigate the Nigerian Football Federation. Just when the facts came out to show how corrupt the NFF was, how Amaju Pinnick was siphoning money, guess what happened? The same presidency, they started suddenly the hunter became the hunted, because now Oblak was now being investigated for corruption, and the next thing we hear, the committee dissolved. So it just tells you some hanky-panky somewhere.
So what it shows, if I understood you correctly, the minister actually gives out all of these funds, but those in authority, like the NFF, the Nigerian Football Federation, they have not been accounting for the money, and they have been siphoning the money, so not reaching our players. So when you see most of our players, they don't do so well when they don't want to put in their best, because they're not getting what is due to them. So it's unfortunate, and it's really, really sad.
So, but we're happy.
But thank God, what the president
has done, and that's like how many days now to go to the Cup of Nations?
6 days.
Okay, 6 days. Today is the 8th day, so 6 days. No, that's not 6 days.
Are you kidding me?
The Nations Cup is in 5 days.
In 5 days?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm now turning
better in mathematics. It's starting on the 13th. So, but it's good. I think this is going to inspire the players actually as they go to the Cup of Nations, knowing fully well that the backlog will be paid. But the truth, another important thing is that some of these monies were for players who have already even retired from the national team. So, well, but I think it's still a good vibe.
It's going to go a long way.
Yeah, it will make them feel more confident going to the Nations Cup.
Honored.
Yeah, knowing that the presidency and Nigerians are backing them. So, just yesterday also, still talking about the Super Eagles, they had a friendly match yesterday, which they won 12-0, though it wasn't a serious, just a let's say cook-up team, just to prepare them ahead of the Nations Cup, a team in Abu Dhabi. But the fact that you could win 12-0 is also positive. It means the team is having cohesion and they're
preparing.
Preparing well. So we'll be looking at the Super Eagles, hoping they'll be doing all these goals. I hope they've not finished scoring all their goals so that they get to the Nations Cup.
Don't jinx our team, please.
No, that's what we are hoping.
Please don't.
Because most times you hear teams, they score all the goals very friendly matches.
When it comes to the
main team that's struggling to score goals. So we are hoping the Super Eagles will do well at the Cup of Nations. 5 days to go. Yesterday, won the Abu Dhabi team by 12-0. That's an amazing result for the Super Eagles as they get set for the Cup of Nations. All right, we get more stories to share.
Yes, when it comes to recruitment, over the weekend we heard that the Army recruitment applicants arrested for attempted to take Lagos slots. So that's a big one there. That happened last week.
I think the story is it's interesting because this is what happens all the time in Nigeria, where most times they say, for you to get the job, the quota is so you just choose that local government at will, and you get the document without, much scrutiny. I think that it just shows you when there's no proper background check. That's what happens. But Lagos is a state you don't toy with. So I think they messed around with the wrong state. But it's also very sad that these were Northerners who we know. They have far more numbers in the military, in the police, and so you're wondering. So is this how they've come around getting more numbers?
You know what? I was speaking to someone about this, and the person said, well, in their mind, these Northerners, the 6 Northerners, they feel, okay, maybe because the president is
from Lagos State.
From Lagos State, he's Yoruba. That means more recruitments will be done, and more people will be taken from Lagos State. But funny enough, I think this it happened in Kosofe, in Isolo local government, and all of that.
They picked as
that's where they picked as their local government, and they're Northerners from the northern states when it comes to Kaduna and all of that. But unfortunately for them, the Army is an institution that they are very, like the monitoring committee, all hands are on deck when it comes to recruitment because of various incidents that they must have had. And of course,
Boko Haram,
exactly, when it comes to terrorists coming as spies to be part of the recruitment process, then giving out information when it's time for battle and time for war. So it's not even possible for them to get away with this. They would have been fished out. It doesn't. Please, these are intelligent individuals in the Nigerian Army who will sit down to listen to your intonation. So if you're not speaking the way the Yoruba individual speaks, and you're speaking like a Northerner, and it doesn't correlate with your data given, of course you will be fished out. So they wouldn't have gone far with this at all.
But at the same time, if we look at the flip side of it, is it really okay to recruit based on where you're from, rather than being a Nigerian? What should matter most? Nigerian, or you're from certain state?
I think you should be proud. One, you're a Nigerian, then be proud from where you are from. If you're from Borno State, be proud to say to yourself that I am from this part of Nigeria and I'm coming out to defend my country, to be patriotic. It doesn't matter. We know you're a Nigerian, but be proud from where you are from.
But should we yank off the issue of state of origin? Because I think it divides us rather than bring us together. Because when you say, I'm going to recruit based on where you're from, then it means we're sowing the seed of discord. Even though, yes, I know they're trying to probably give everybody a fair, allocation of slots.
When it comes to allocation of slots, it only shows that everyone needs to be privileged when it comes to recruitment. Now, if you're from Edo, for instance, I'm from Kogi State, it it's like, how would I put it? I'm looking for a word. It has to do with being organized.
Okay.
For instance, from Kogi State, I'm going to pick maybe 20 persons from Kogi State. From Edo State, I'm going to pick like 10 persons. It shows that we are being organized. But if we say we are one Nigeria,
Edo,
then
you're
how
going to pick 30 from Edo. You pick 20 from Kogi.
Okay.
Don't mind me, I just said to be elected.
I know. But the truth, it's all about being organized.
Yeah.
The various states, for everyone to be part and parcel of this particular.
What I'm trying to wrap my head around is at the states, the allocation of slots. If they are even, then I don't think other states will want to jump into another state. But because probably not even in terms of slots.
And that is why they have a particular number. They can just say 5, 5, 5, 5. Or I'm just giving an instance
example,
because
yeah.
I know someone who was a recruitment officer, may he so rest in peace, who was a recruitment officer for Akwa Ibom. So I followed this due process and I understood that there are particular numbers that are given.
Okay, so how did they come about the numbers? What's like? I'm just trying to pick your brain.
It depends. You have to have like a particular your data, number one. You have to be physically fit, your height, and all of that. All these things come into play, and then there's a number. Everyone sits down. Okay, for instance, maybe the army wants about 2,000 persons to join. So they'll actually divide those numbers, I think, according to the states, having slots for every state.
So does every state get the same amount?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. There's no particular, like the northern or the southern, or no, every state gets equal share. And it's just unfortunate that some states are higher than some. So, well, if you're lucky, you're lucky. Tomato,
so
potato.
I think we're lucky this morning, getting deep and insight as regards recruitment process. That's going to be one of the talking points on this morning's program, talking about global morning. But it's the time tells us it's time for us to give you more news, and so it's time for AM News.
Yes, it is.
Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global TV. We're live on the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has cleared the outstanding payment that the federal government owed the Super Eagles and other sporting teams of the country. According to a statement on the X handle of Tinubu's media center on Sunday, the payment entails the clearing of senior national team coach salaries running up to 15 months, payments of allowances and promises due to the senior national team, females and under 20 national team. Recall that in 2020, the Super Eagles complained that the federal government was yet to release the 1.5 billion naira approved to them to compete at the 2019 African Cup of Nations. The presidency has said that it is investigating the transfer of 585.189 million naira grants meant for vulnerable groups in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Ogun and Lagos State into a private account. This is just as some civil society organizations called for the sacking of Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, for directing the payment, asking the president not to condone impunity, demanding that Edu be removed as minister and made to face interrogation by anti-corruption agencies. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, told newsmen on Saturday that the matter is under investigation and appropriate action will be taken thereafter. In a viral document signed by her and directed to the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Edu directed the disbursement of 585.189 million naira into one Bridget Mojisola Oyeyele private account. The minister had in a statement on Friday by her special assistant on media and publicity, Rashid Zubair, said the payment followed due process. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN Enugu Depot, has denied any plans to increase price of petrol. The chairman of IPMAN Enugu Depot, Chinedu Ayaso, who made the statement in Akwa, Anambra State at the weekend, asked the public to disregard news of an increase in the price of petrol. Speaking on the rumored impending increase in the price of petrol, he described the reporters as one of the mischievous news of social media stories. He added that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, which is the sole importer of petrol, had not informed them of any plan to increase petrol price, urging the public to disregard the rumors of increased price. Over now to the University of Ibadan, Oyo State on Sunday describes as baseless the story making rounds that some fake professors were identified in the institution. It was earlier reported that a purported list from a government agency has been in circulation containing names of some professors who are said to be fake. The university, in a statement by the registrar and the secretary to the council and senate, Ganiyu Saliu in Ibadan, the state capital, said the names of the list were not bona fide members of the institution. The management, however, categorically stated that none of the professors listed have ever been listed as staff of the university. Noting that the University of Ibadan, Benenli, publishes its calendar within all the names of the bona fide academic staffs are listed, further urging members of the public to disregard such stories, as the University of Ibadan will never jeopardize the integrity of its academic programs by parading fake professors. Similarly, the management of the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, has said that the list of fake professors allegedly attributed to be working in the institution was not known to the university. The university, in a press statement made available to journalists in Ilorin on Sunday and signed by Kunle Akogun, Director Corporate Affairs, said none of the names mentioned in the list were workers of the university. Meanwhile, the National Universities Commission has denounced the list of fake professors in some Nigerian universities being circulated in the media. The Commission said the list could not have emanated from the Apex regulatory educational body without due consultation with their accredited universities. The Deputy Executive Secretary in charge of Academic Directorate, Dr. Neil Abiodun Saliu, explained that such information should be taken as the handiwork of mischief makers who are out to destroy the hard-earned reputation of those prestigious institutions whose names were mentioned. The rector of Kaduna Business School, KBS, Dr. Dahiru Sani, has threatened to sue the National Universities Commission, NUC, if it doesn't remove the school's name from the list of 58 illegal universities released by the commission. According to him, the NUC was wrong to include KBS in the list because the business school is not a university and doesn't run a degree program. The rector addressed newsmen to react to the recent list released by the NUC, which included the business school among the 58 fake universities in the country. Now on NDLEA, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, Ikeja, Lagos, on New Year Day, Monday, 1st January 2024, intercepted a consignment of Colorado, a very strong strain of cannabis concealed in boxing kits imported from the United States of America. The week-long intelligence-led operation to get the receiver arrested was consummated on Saturday, 6 January, following the successful tracking and arrest of 38-year-old Olorunfemi Fumi Saheed Olakunle, who distributed the dangerous psychoactive substance to dealers across Lagos State. The consignment had arrived the country on Monday, 1st January, via Cairo on Egypt airline flight marked as boxing kits. According to Saheed, he delivers such consignment to different recipients whenever his childhood friend, US-based Sagir Salami, sends them. The latest shipment has a total weight of 1.80 kilograms. Still on NDLEA, meanwhile, a 28-year-old female supplier of ammunition to bandits Bilikisu Suleiman came top on the list of 12 other suspects arrested by NDLEA operatives in New Year interdiction operations in Kaduna, Lagos, Niger, Kogi, Kano, Borno, and Osun State. Bilikisu was arrested on Wednesday, 3rd January, by NDLEA officers on patrol along Zaria-Kano Expressway in possession of 249 rounds of 7.6 millimeters live ammunition concealed in a black nylon bag kept in her lady's handbag. She was on her way to deliver the ammunition to an identified bandit in Kukumi Village, Katsina State, when she was nabbed, after which she was transferred to the Kaduna State Command of the Nigerian Police Force for further investigation. Commending the arrest and seizure of the past week by officers and men of the MMIA, the chairman NDLEA Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Maro, retired, charged the officers and their compatriots across all formations of the agency to continue to remain vigilant and double their drug demand reduction as well as drug supply reduction effort in the new year. A coalition of Fulani groups in Plateau State on Sunday comprising Mayete Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Macban, Jan Allah Fulani Development Association of Nigeria, GAFDAN, Bojoel Fulani, Jonde Jam, Katohor, and Lawa Fulaku said it has lost 350 members between October 2023 and January 2024 in the state. The coalition also claimed that it lost 834 cattle within the said period in various communities in Birkin-Ladi, Bokos, and Mangu local government areas of the state. This is the first time the leadership of the Fulani communities have come out to voice their apprehension over the recent attack and killings in the village of Bokos and Birkin-Ladi local government areas, where over 190 persons were killed. The groups in a press conference led by State Chairman of Macban in Jos, Malam Nuhu Abdullahi, said members of the Fulani living in various communities were being molested, maltreated, intimidated, and in many cases killed. Bandits who kidnapped Alhaji Masur Al-Qadari and his 6 children have contacted the family demanding 60 million naira ransom. The victims were abducted on Tuesday night in Buari Area Council of Federal Capital Territory. His brother Alhaji Abdul Fatai, who led policemen to foil the abduction, was shot dead by the bandits. Also, 2 among the 3 injured policemen hit by bullets during the fire exchange had reportedly died. It was also gathered that the bandits later freed the father to go and look for the ransom to secure the release of his children. Following the new development, the family of the victims from Okekere area of Ilorin, Kwara State on Sunday solicited funds towards their rescue. You're watching AM News live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us all social media platforms using at Global TV, NG, and other handles now showing on your screen. When AM News continues shortly after this break, stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of AM News. Thank you for staying with us. Over now to our foreign scene. No fewer than 110 people have been reportedly dead 5 days after a huge earthquake struck central Japan. Rescuers and residents sifted through rubble on Saturday as the focus turned to recovering bodies and cleaning up rather than finding survivors. The death toll from the New Year's Day 7.5 magnitude quake in the region of Japan's main Honshu Island was certain to rise, with 210 people still unaccounted for. Authorities have said the work of thousands of rescue workers have been hampered by bad weather. Snow was forecast for Sunday, and roads were torn apart by gaping cracks and blocked by an estimated 1,000 landslides. The U.S. Supreme Court has said it will hear a historic case to determine if Donald Trump can run for president. The justices agreed to take up Trump's appeal against a decision by Colorado to remove him from the 2024 ballot in that state. The case will be heard in February, and the ruling will apply nationwide. Lawsuits in a number of states are seeking to disqualify Trump, arguing that they engaged in insurrection during the U.S. Capitol riot 3 years ago. The legal challenges hing on whether a Civil War-era constitutional amendment rendered Trump ineligible to stand as a candidate. The Supreme Court's decision to hear Trump's appeal came after attorney generals from 27 states filed a brief asking the court to reject Colorado's ruling. And now on business, Dangote Industries Limited has opened up on the last week visit by officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to its headquarters in Lagos, describing it as embarrassing. While pledging it was ready to assist the commission in its investigations, the indigenous conglomerate in a statement disclosed that it received a letter from the EFCC on December 6, 2023, requesting details of all the foreign exchange allocated to it by the Central Bank of Nigeria from 2014 to present, stating it resolves to continue to play its key role in stimulating the domestic economy. Dangote Group declared that they will remain committed to providing the EFCC with all necessary information and cooperation as a law-abiding, ethical corporate citizen, adding that they have already delivered the first batch of documents and are actively working to compile and submit the remaining documents in good time to aid their investigation. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS Adewale Adeniyi, has said the officers of the service will work tirelessly to achieve the 5.1 trillion naira revenue target set by the federal government by the service in 2024. Adeniyi stated this on Thursday in Abuja at the declaration of newly promoted officers of the service. He stated that the year 2024 is full of expectations, especially with Nigeria Customs Service in terms of revenue and trade facilitation, adding that the service is ready to harness its manpower to meet those expectations. The custom boss further stated that the service will be deploying technology to improve border security and trade facilitation at the port. And now on sports, Brazilian football legend and the first person to win the FIFA World Cup as both a player and coach, Mario Zagallo, has died at the age of 92. Zagallo was an instrumental figure as any in Brazil's rise to prominence as global football power. Zagallo, who died on Friday, was the only surviving member of the Brazilian team that lifted the 1958 World Cup trophy, the country's first title, and one that eased the pain of traumatic defeat by Hungary at the Maracanã 8 years prior. While that memory remained vivid, Zagallo would do his utmost to relieve the anguish by leaving his fingerprints on 4 of Brazil's 5 World Cup triumphs. And on to AFCON. President of Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Ibrahim Gassau, has disclosed that Nigerians' chance of winning the 2024 edition of African Cup of Nations, AFCON, are very bright. He made this known in an interview with journalists in Ikom, local government area, Cross River State, when he attended the Thanksgiving service in a Catholic church organized by the Minister of Sports Development, John Owem Eno. He said the NFF had gone much to prepare the Super Eagles to participate in the tournament, further disclosing that the federal government had also approved and released the team's request to enable them have good participation at AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, billed to commence on 13th January 2024 at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Mpembe, Abidjan. And that's it on AM News, and it comes to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. See you again.